Prismo Metals, ticker PRYZ on the CSE, has not one but two very interesting projects where action is imminent or at least very near. We're talking to CEO Alain Lambert and President Steve Robertson today to hear more about the company's silver project, Palos Verdes, but also and especially about Primo's copper project, Hot Breccia. Welcome, gents.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Always welcome. So, Alain, Steve, before we start talking about the company and its projects, please very shortly introduce yourself as this is our first interview. Give our audience a bit of background on yourself. Perhaps, Steve, you can start.
Yeah, I'm an exploration geologist. I've been looking for copper and gold for most of my career, which is now about 35 years long, and worked a lot in British Columbia. Very much happy to be part of Prismo's team and looking at copper and gold and silver down in Arizona, Mexico. And
Alain, and I guess you are more on the corporate financing side of things for the company. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I have a law and corporate law and finance background. Been in Canadian capital markets since 1987. And I believe Steve and I make a great team, right balance between the technical and the capital markets.
Okay, well, it's always good to have both, of course. Without further ado, let's talk about Prismo's exciting copper project, Hot Breccia. Please tell us what you have there and what makes this project especially promising.
Okay. Hot Breccia, I think, is a special project because of big copper. I mean, that's pretty much sums it up. This is a property that's in the right address. It's got all the right characteristics to really be one of those big copper exploration stories that is going to receive a lot of attention. We've not only got the right zip code with a lot of world-class deposits around us, but we actually have a lot of geological similarities to the Resolution deposit that's only 40 kilometers away from us. So I think that opportunities like this are very rare, and I'm pretty excited to be able to get out and start exploring.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very good location. Resolution, who's working on that? Whose project is that?
Resolution is a joint venture between BHP and Rio Tinto. Rio is the operator of that project, and they've put about $2 billion into the project now. It's deep cover play, and the top of the deposit is about 1.2 kilometers down, and they're working toward development. It will be a significant mine. When it is in production, it could produce up to a quarter of the U.S. domestic demand for copper.
Well, of course, we are hoping in the fullness of time that Prismo is getting there too. We'll see how it goes. But first of all, now, just recently, you received good news. That is, you got the permits. So things really can get moving there now at Hot Breccia.
Yeah, we've been working on the permits for a while, but it was a relatively straightforward process with BLM. All of our property is on BLM ground, and we have the permit in place now. We've been talking to contractors with the expectation that the permit would be received, and so we're ready to hit the ground running once we do some financing.
Okay, which of course leads us to the next questions. Perhaps Alain can take this one. I think the budget is about 2-3 million for that. You talked about that. And do you see any problems with raising that kind of money? I mean, copper has been much more in the forefront than it has been for a while. So is the interest there?
Well, thanks for the question. So so the budget is $2 million US. Let's call it $3 million Canadian. For the first phase of drilling at Hot Breccia, and that is 5,000 meters of drilling, more or less 5 holes of 1,000 meters each. We were surprised at our ability to negotiate some rates for drilling, and this is going to be about $400 US per meter all in. And no, we don't foresee any issues raising the money. We've already been out there. Steve and I have been to Europe. We've been traveling. We're traveling again this week, meeting with people, and there's great interest from investment bankers, brokers, investors in learning more about the Hot Breccia project.
Okay, great to hear, because that's always the hurdle, especially in the markets as they have been for a while now, although things seem to look up a bit. Now, what also could help in financing the company is that you have another project where you're always ready to go, or where you're ready to go and mobilize the equipment to the project already, which is called Palos Verdes, and it's a silver project located in Sinaloa, Mexico. And if I'm correct, is practically surrounded by Vizsla Silver, which is a Prismo shareholder. Is that right?
Yes, Vizsla owns 9.6% of Prismo. I'll turn it over to Steve maybe to talk about this exciting silver prospect where we've already drilled 6,000 meters and we're about to embark on the next drilling phase.
Yeah, Palos Verdes is in a bonanza style vein district in Mexico, and we are surrounded on three sides by Vizsla, so they've done a great job of proving up some discoveries in the Panuco region, and we're part of that same vein district, and we've actually had success in defining the vein on our property, and it's a vein that actually goes off onto the Vizsla ground as well. So luckily, because of the relationship that Alain and the team have been able to establish with Vizsla, we've actually got an opportunity to do the next phase of drilling by backing up onto their ground and taking a deeper cut at the vein on our ground to make sure that we understand the full extent and grade and size of that vein. So it's really important next step for us to be able to achieve the valuation that we're looking for, and that program is ready to go imminently. The pads are all permitted on the Vizsla ground, and so we can get going within a couple of weeks on that one.
Yeah, hoping to hear more there soon. Yes, but just shortly, can you remind us what kind of grades did you hit when you drilled there last year? It was, I think.
Yeah, we're hitting the same type of grades that they're seeing over on the Vizsla ground. I think our best hit is about 0.5 meter of 11.5 kilos silver equivalent. So really spectacular. I love it when you can quote the silver grades in kilos per ton rather than ounces. It's a pretty good indication that you're into some nice high grades.
Okay. Well, best of luck with both of those projects, of course. And we're certainly looking to hear more on how the drilling is going, and then certainly the results. How long do you think is the turnaround once you've got a drill and send the core to the lab? How can you already say how long will it take to get results back?
Yeah. The turnaround times in Mexico, or at least in that part of Mexico, is quite quick. In our last drilling campaign, we had turnaround times less than 3 weeks, sometimes 2 weeks, or even less. So investors can expect news on a regular basis coming out of Palos Verdes.
Great, that's news flow is always helpful too, of course. So just very quickly, because you're in copper, you're in silver, but you're also in gold. The project is called Los Pavitos. Is that on a sort of back burner there? But can you just shortly remind people what this is about?
Yeah, I can field that one if you want, Alain. Los Pavitos is a great project as far as I'm concerned. It's really the third leg to the stool. We've got 3 excellent projects at Prismo, and Los Pavitos was a concept when it came into the company. There's a big orogenic gold belt that stretches all the way up through Sonora State and into California, and there's several multi-million-ounce gold deposits along that stretch. And the theory was that belt of rocks could extend further to the south, and that's where Los Pavitos lies. And in our first drill program, we were actually able to come up with the best result was 6.5 meters of 10.2 grams per ton gold and 47 grams per ton silver. So spectacular grade over a big width, proof positive that we do have an orogenic gold system on the property. The next step for us on that project, we're not going to put it on the back burner, but it's got a different type of program than is going to be needed at either the other 2 properties. The next step is to get out with the geologists in the field, do some mapping, prospecting, ground geophysics, and some of those fundamental systematic exploration techniques that are going to be required to make sure that the next phase of exploration drilling is as effective as possible.
Okay, thank you very much. So just let's sum it up. why should investors take a closer look at Prismo Metals right now and at this moment in time?
I would say, to quote Steve, that we have the right people, we have the right project, and have the right timing. To that, I could add we also have the right share structure. So Prismo only has 53.3 million shares outstanding, so it has a market cap of about $11 million. The founders and management and close advisors, we still own 27.5%. Vizsla own 9.6%, so it's a fairly tight share structure, and we're looking for world-class. In the case of Hot Breccia, for a world-class copper target, and as Steve said, the analog is Resolution, which is just one giant discovery that was made by Rio Tinto and BHP, and that's what we're going for. So investors should put Prismo on their radar screen and follow our progress very closely. There'll be regular news flow between now and the end of the year, and hopefully some of them become our shareholders.
Okay, thank you very much. Steve, something you want to add to that?
Well, I think Alain took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I think this is a very unique opportunity, mostly because of the Hot Breccia opportunity. This is a very exciting copper play. It's probably the best copper play I've ever seen in my career, and very much looking forward to getting out and seeing the results of the first program on that one.
Well, we certainly want to see you go out there and come back with great results. So thank you very much for taking the time today, and good luck with all your endeavors. And we'll talk hopefully when you come back with the great results. Thank you.